transit all masked off, and we're going to be doing a blowover with a cheap spray gun. So I've got an old Fast Mover spray gun, not used it for a while. I actually bought it for doing white, just for white jobs only. The only colour that goes through this gun is white. So this is the gun, cheap Fast Mover, 1.3 tip inner, and this is what I'm going to use to blast the side of this van over. So I think this gun here, probably, I don't know if it's about 40 quid, maybe less, maybe a little bit more, but it'll be thereabouts. So I'm going to use this to give this van a blow over, and we'll see what it turns out like. First coat of paint is on the van, and I honestly thought I was going to come back in here and the paint was going to be on the floor, so I thought I'd put it on a little bit too heavy for the first coat. We'll have a look how many degrees we are in here. So we're 17.5 degrees, 17.9 degrees, almost 18 degrees, so yeah. So I had the air at 2.5 bar for that. I've had the fluid at 2 turns out, full fan, steady away, put that on, built it up, it's covered well. I've been in the house, I've had some shepherd's pie, 15 minutes has gone by, I've come back out, I'm going to mix a little bit more paint up because I don't think I've got quite enough to recover the full side again. So I'll mix a little bit more up, put it in with what's already in the gun, and I'll bash on and give it another coat. Back in the garage this morning, and I have to say my head is still spinning from doing this paint job last night. However, we have got an awesome job here. We've got an awesome job here off a very cheap gun. Take a look at this. This is the paint job that I did last night with that cheap spray gun. I don't know how well you can see it on the camera, but we've got a very clean looking paint job here. It's got the paint on, lovely. So again, this is a gun I used, and it's a Fast Mover, and it's a 1.3 tip. So you need the 1.3 tip. There's a gun with a 1.8 tip, but you want the 1.3. The 1.8 is for putting on primer. So after a bit of research, I found the gun on Amazon, and it's £43.17. So I've added a link down in the comments. So in the pinned comment, there's a link there for that gun if you're interested in buying one. So that's the gun, ideal, good, cheap, first starter gun. If you're interested in doing a bit of spraying, a few bits and bobs for yourself, it's a good, cheap starter gun. In fact, it's an absolute bargain for what it is. It does spray really well. So that's the gun. Anyway, back onto the job. So I actually ran out of paint last night when I was doing the job. I didn't quite have enough paint mixed up. First time round, I had a little bit left when I sprayed it on, but then your first coat is always lighter, it's not as heavy as your second coat. So I'm guessing when I was putting the second coat on a bit heavier, I should have known really, but I was trying to make the paint go a bit further because I've only got a certain amount of paint and I want to do both sides of the van. So I quickly mixed some more up. I got the paint in the gun as fast as I could. I ran back out around the side of the van, and I got the paint on the side of the van as fast as I could before the last lot dried out. Never mind. Tip, tip that I can give you is make sure that you do not rush the job. Get them drying times in. Make sure that you get them drying times in at least 15 minutes between every coat. Whatever job you're doing, them drying times. Never rush a job. Just remember, it takes a lot more time to put a bad job right than it does to do a good job to start with. Always remember that, your drying times. So the job I've just done on this van with that cheap paint gun, it is just a blowover job. It's not a concourse job. So if it was a concourse job, the paintwork would all have been flatted down afterwards. It had been polished back up for that extra finish to get that top concourse finish. Again, it's just a van, we don't need that. Once this van's outside, it's going to look absolutely gleaming. So what's different with this job to most of my jobs is the paint that we put on. It's 2K, so the gloss is in the paint, the white paint, the gloss is in the paint. So we're not having to lacquer this job. So like most of the jobs I do weekly, they're a base coat and a lacquer. So I put the colour on first, that's a base coat, then afterwards it's the lacquer. To get that gloss, the shine, you put the lacquer on afterwards. Again, link down below in the comments for that gun there. Link there in the comments for that gun there. If you're interested in it, check it out. Right, let's move on to something else. I just want to quickly show you before I go. Another job I'm doing. So this is another respray on a bike. And yes, it is another Barry Sheen replica paint job. So I'm going to be doing this on an RGV 250. This is a bike down here. RGV 250. It's in these colours at the moment. It's not the best paint job. So I'm going to be putting this cracking Barry Sheen job on this bike. So give me a bit of feedback, let me know what you think of that one. Also, another job that I've got coming is I'm going to be doing a hard hit salvage car. So I've also been doing salvage cars for years and years and years. Before people were getting into the co-part, I was buying cars from Blue Cycle years ago. I was very young when I was getting them in my early 20s, I was doing them. Peugeots, things like that. But I have got one now. I've gone and got a salvage car, and I'll show you what it looks like. If you're interested in following this one, you might want to subscribe now and hit the bell so you can get updates for when I start this car. Last thing before I go, one last thing. Who subscribed to the channel for the cars and who subscribed to the channel for the bikes? If you could let me know in the comments, I'll be really interested to know who subscribed for what. Obviously I do a lot with the bikes, I do a lot with the cars. I would just like to know out of all of you who came to the channel for the bikes and who came to the channel for the cars. Just leave a comment and let me know, that'd be fantastic. Right, I'm off now, not going to bore you anymore. I'll see you in the next video. See you next time. Take it easy.